So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FR Tech Venture podcast. And today we have seasoned professional with over 18 years of combined experience in the dynamic field of banking, government initiatives, and healthcare solutions. And he is not only a technical virtuoso, but also a leader dedicated to shaping the future of IT landscape. So, welcoming today's guest, he is a CTO of Cegedim Egypt, Mr. Hithem Mohamed. So, he carries the responsibility of ensuring the company's values and strategies that are not just upheld but elevated. So, with a remarkable proficiency in evolutionary architecture, technical excellence, and agile leadership for the business, he is driving force behind this fostering environments where employees can learn, collaborate, and incrementally deliver values. So, welcoming today's our guest, Mr. Hithem Mohamed, and on behalf of our Adva Tech team, myself Sonal Shah, welcoming you to my podcast. So, Mr. Hithem, welcome to the show, and it's our pleasure to have you on the podcast. So before we delve into the formal podcast and the discussions on the today's topic, that is a technology and leadership, could you please share a bit about yourself and your journey in this technology landscape in your words? So please, Hithem, welcoming you on podcast, and now it's over to you.
Thanks a lot, Sonal, for your nice introduction, and a brief introduction about myself. I'm Hithem Ahmed, the CTO of Cegedim Egypt, and I've been in the position for 4 years, and I have deep experience in enterprise architecture, business agility, and organization agility and management 3.0. And as you said, that I have a lot of knowledge in different domains, including banking, healthcare, payment solutions, and government initiatives. Thanks a lot, Sonal.
Yeah, so thank you so much for these beautiful introductions, and it's truly honor for me today to host you as a guest. But before we start the question and answer sessions, I would just like to provide a quick intro on Adva Tech Venture. So a quick word in the summarize, if I say, so we are IT and a tech platform with the focus on IT solutions, IT resources, requirements, and the Tech Audio podcast. And adding on these, we have a vendor alliances with 50 plus tech partners that includes SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, Pega, OutSystem, Appian, Salesforce, Cloudera, Informatica, and many more. And we provide almost all the key solutions, including ERP, application development, data, and AI/ML with blockchain, cloud, managed services, UX, UI testing, and cybersecurity. And we have resource bases of 20,000 plus resources all across the skills, which we can deliver both on-site and offshore within a 24 hours. So this is our I can say the tech profiles, and we are so much glad today to have you on board today with our podcast. And we are just, excited more about to learn from your journey, your views, and latest tech innovations. So thank you for coming today and joining us in this podcast. And now, as our audience is ready to listen your views on this technology, so let's begin this session. So just starting with your profile and all, Hithem, I wanted to know how do you perceive the evolution of technology within this realm of leadership, or in what ways have you observed this technology has shaped and transformed the leadership practices? So can you just give a brief about these?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is a very important question, and that question is very important for any leader or manager in working in an innovative technology company and leading developers. So currently the product development is based on technology. So the main channel for delivering value is the technical channels. And of course, since we have this core, the developers and the development actually become very important for any company. And of course, also we have high pace products changes, and we need to deliver things fast. So all of this actually led up to focus more in agility and having small scrum teams that are cross-functional and adopting lightweight processes like Scrum or others to deliver value fast to to the customers. And of course, this is actually also led that that small team have diversified skills. They have development, testing, DevOps, and other kind of skills. So all of that has to be managed and delivering value in a very, very fast pace. And of course, this led that the managers has to have this agile mindset and to focus more in empowering teams more than the command and control. Okay, so it changed actually the management style, and of course there is a lot of theories like theory X and theory Y. Theory X previously was focusing on the command and control and working in waterfall fashion, while in theory Y we are capitalizing on the wisdom of the group, and we are trying to empower the team so that they will focus on the purpose and the mission and learn whatever it takes to deliver the value in a very fast pace. Also, there's something very important. I see that in the future, since we have the generative AI and the LLM, the large language model, things actually, the developers will be much more skilled, and they will have the skills to make the product analysis till the delivery. And I think teams will be much more smaller, and the management in such situation will focus more about managing out, coordinating the communication between different stakeholders, managing the culture, having the mentorship skills, having also focusing on the team creation and dynamic teams and so on. So of course, when technology advances and developers will be much more skilled, every time the management style will change from style to another style.
Right. That's a great to know. So may I know how many team members are there in your organizations or under your leadership?
Yeah, and if for Cegedim Global, there is 6K employees. Under my leadership, there is around 200 plus. Okay, so I'm managing actually Cegedim Egypt. I'm CTO for Cegedim Egypt.
Yeah, so that's a wonderful. So can you shed some lights on how you are taking these recruitments, or how you are identifying the technical skills relevant to your projects, or how do you manage these skills across all platforms which you are handling? So can you give emphasis on these technical skills and expertise you are currently seeking in this potential recruits? So it cannot just only meet the project demands, but also effectively provides effective leadership within the team also, as you had elaborated earlier. So please shed some lights on that.
Okay, so the first thing, of course, there's the technical part, and there is also the culture fit part. Okay, so for us, we have certain culture values in Cegedim, and we are taking care about that. Every member hired in the team should meet this culture values. Okay, so we have, of course, culture values related to respect, synergy, and innovation. So we are focusing on people that have such values, and they are much more outcome oriented than they are focusing on a certain technology, because Cegedim actually have been in the market for more than 50 years, and of course there is certain products that are legacy, and we need calibers that they are technology agnostic. Even if the technology is old, they can work on that. They are mastering technical excellence techniques like TDD, PDD, pair programming, and so on, and they are outcome oriented, and they are problem solver, and they have a high passion in learning and solving complex problems. For the technologies, and of course, as I said, that there's legacy part, and there is also direction for modernization. So our focus more for the front end technologies towards React. However, there is some projects working in Angular, and we have also for the back end side, the majority are working in C#, but there is also others working in Java.
Right. So that's a great to know. So you are, working on so many technical skills and expertise, and it's definitely from your vision, I can see that you are managing the team with the cultural values, and as you had highlighted that, you are also concerned about the energy and innovation. So that's, nowadays it's a kind of a social responsibility also, as well as, making the world better with all these kind of efforts. So that's a wonderful efforts you are, managing and creating for the future. So Hithem, and adding on these two, could you share some insights into this current project? what you are overseeing as a CTO recently?
Yeah, okay. So I can speak about a general project that also can be relevant to any of the audience. For instance, we actually we were working on a component for authentication and authorization and single sign-on, and actually such component is actually needed for any company that are working in products that you need an integrated single sign-on, where the user can sign on from a certain application, and by that he should be logged in the other applications. So such a product, and my role in that first is actually to define the characteristics that is needed in the system. Okay, so whether it is compliance with certain standards, whether it is security, whether it is certain product needs, like what are the login or the authorization features that is needed, and so on. And of course, hiring such team and the communication with other teams so that they adopt the solution. And of course, there's a lot of other decisions while we are focusing on such components, whether, for instance, are we going to use something that is open source, or are we going to buy something, or are we going to develop this ourselves? And of course, there is other technical decisions, like am I going to bundle this with another product or unbundle that from another product? So would it be only authentication, or would it be authentication and authorization? So such decisions, and I collaborate on that. Of course, there is architect in the team, and the architect is empowered. So my role is much more related to mentorship and thinking with the architect that whether we are applying the right techniques to identify the system characteristics and choosing the suitable solution.
Right. That's wonderful. So, adding on these also, many of the time right now, you also know that all over the world, the things are going on, like the startups, and many of the people are themselves emerging with the new technology as well as a new industry setup. So for our audience, they might be interested that in the scale of your technological endeavors, what setup of approximately technological budget it will require to allocate the projects you are managing. So as a CTO at Cegedim, how you are allocating the budget in terms of technology development or current project initiatives? So could you share some highlights for that too? So it will be, for emerging people, it will be easy to grasp the technology related budgets, as well as they can also identify easy way.
Okay, so actually our budget is actually highly related to the team size. Okay, there is other also parts related to the budget. For instance, there's a lot of activities actually for building the team, and maybe also communication with vendors, and there's a lot of other things. But I will focus on the team budget, okay, because actually it's an important part, and there's other parts actually depends on the project size and the context of the product. But for defining the budget of a certain product, first we have to do like a high level architecture for the product. So to understand what are the components of the product, what are the components that is going to be reused, and what are the others that is going to be developed. And having the architecture and having the components, then you can easily estimate, or it's not that easy, but at least you can have a high level estimation how many developers with which skills is needed to accomplish that purpose. And also based on historical information, and if you have done something similar before, you can have like high level estimate about the duration and the team size. So this is actually a very important part in the budget, which is the team. And of course there is others, depends whether you are communicating with other stakeholders or vendors, and you manage that.
Yes. So is there any kind of like a ratio we can develop that, for these technologies? Can we strategically define kind of a ratio that like a 20-80 or a 30-70 for any kind of a project? So is it possible?
Percentage of what?
Yes. For a technology, supposedly if you are, developing for a specific project, so this 30% of the budget will be allocated to technology upgradation or technological learning. So is there any way that you are allocating budget for a tech?
Well, actually, the point is that I'm working in Cegedim, Egypt. So Cegedim Egypt is actually the development center. So 80% of our budget is actually for the developers, almost, or maybe more. more. But the point is that for Cegedim Global, of course, there's other items in the budget, but I'm not sure about the percentage.
Yeah, that might be the right thing to understand. You correctly answered. Yes, yes. So, looking ahead with this focus on technology leadership. So, now I also and my audience also wanted to know what are the, your future next project and how these roles are leadership's approach playing in this technologies upgradation or strategically for new projects which are pipeline for CGM.
Well, actually, I will speak about one project that I'm recently working on, and that project is actually for pseudonymization or anonymization. Okay, and we are thinking about a component that is going to be used across the whole products in Cegedim to provide like anonymization for the patient's data. Of course, the business units are doing this by themselves, but actually we are thinking about if we have like a central component for that, maybe it will provide useful way for doing this. And for the new projects, it can use this easily instead of reinventing the wheel. And if we have such a component, we can have more research and development in that, and we can incorporate artificial intelligence or machine learning also, because there is a lot of algorithms for doing the action and personalization. So this is a recent idea or initiative that I'm working on. And of course, we are working on the product management side of it and the architecture side of it.
So that's wonderful. So before, whatever I wanted to know, that is almost, I'd cover everything. But just adding on, your exceptional abilities to, manage the team with this technology as well as leadership as a, major role. So if I ask you one advice for my audience, that would be, beneficial for them to balance this ever-evolving world of technology. So could you, say something about your experience in line with these and that can provide knowledge to our audience? So
okay, so actually my advice for developers is to focus on the purpose of the product. Okay, of course, knowing technology is something very important. Having the skills is something very important, but understanding the purpose of the product and do whatever it takes to deliver something valuable is much more important. So be driven by purpose, not driven by technology. Technology is the mean to reach the purpose. Okay, so it shouldn't be the primary goal. It should be the mean for reaching the primary goal, which is the purpose of the product. And my advice for the managers, since we are working in an agile world where there's a lot of changes happening and so on, we need to rely on the wisdom of the people. We need to focus more on coaching and mentoring them and having the culture for innovation more than the command and control and being like bottlenecks in the face of the delivery. So of course, such mindset shift requires a lot of reading, learning, and knowing a lot of practices and techniques for coaching. But this is actually would be very important to have real agile teams that are delivering value in very short time.
Yeah, that's so much insightful words you had shared. So before we wrap up, I just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to you and gracing us with the very wonderful insight and expertise on both technology as well as leadership. So your, this different ability to navigate this intricate balance between technology and leadership is really commendable. And we are so grateful to have you today on our podcast. So thank you from myself as well as my team at FarTech Venture. And thank you for being this beacon of knowledge in this ever-evolving world of technology. So Hithem, I'm really appreciating your time and the depth of discussions today you have brought to our podcast. And I think this will, not only enrich our podcast as a medium, but many people might get inspirations from your words and the knowledge today you have shared. So thank you so much for being with us.
Okay, thanks, Sonal, for your kind invitation. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, so dear audience, please stay tuned for more captivating conversations. And until the next podcast, I would like to say this is a FarTech Venture podcast, and I'm your host Sonal Shah. I'm just signing off. And if you have any follow-up questions with me or my guest, just join us on the FarTech Venture. From there, you get all the details about each and every CTOs as well as each and every the member who are the part of our podcast. So again, thank you so much, Hithem, and let's connect more for the better opportunity that's awaits for our mutual conversations as well as collaborations. So Hithem, if you are okay, can I take just more 5 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah. So, Pankti?
Yeah, hi Sonal. Hi Hithem.
Yes, hi.
Hithem, I was listening to you, and honestly speaking, you are an inspiration to the young tech leaders. And obviously, in your guidance and leadership, your organization would be prospering and growing as well. And it was pleasure listening to you.